Hey! Everybody get up! Everybody get up! Yeah, welcome to Anita Vita Rise. Alright, everybody. Welcome. It's Anita Vita Rise. Anita Vita Rise. Yeah. Anita Vita Rise. Yeah. Anita Vita Rise. Yeah. Who can make you better? Anita Vita Rise. In all types of weather, Anita Vita Rise. Get you back together, Anita Vita Rise. Go send her a letter, Anita Vita Rise. Anita Vita Rise. Anita Vita Rise, yeah. Anita Vita Rise, yeah. Yeah. Anita Vita Rise.
Welcome to Rise with Anita Vita. I am your host, Anita Vita, Master Medical Qigong teacher and healer. I'm so grateful and thankful you're here with me today. As you know, this show aims to amplify women's voices, have them share their stories and their gifts so that they are a ripple effect of healing in this world. Tonight's special guest, she is so near and dear to my heart. She is not only my friend, my sister, she is my peak performance mindset reset coach. Her name is Kamille Taylor. Please help me welcome her. Hi.
What's up, Mama? Hi,
What's
everybody.
up? You guys, I'm so nervous. I love this woman so much. I didn't even tell her what she does. She's the CEO and founder of the Ultimate Life. She's an amazing entrepreneur to leaders and game changers in the world. And she specializes in mindset training. So I want you to really listen in, take notes to what she has to say, because she has been such a huge impact in my life. And being a part of her Ultimate Life group, which I know she will be talking about, has really transformed my life. And I've met so many people, and it goes beyond that. And I've been with her for 4 years, and I'm still here going strong. So I want to pass the mic on over to her so she can share a little bit about her journey into being this amazing coach that she is now today.
Awesome. Thank you, Anita. I want to just confirm, you can hear me okay? Yeah?
Yeah. I hear you fine.
Okay, awesome. There's just a little bit of lag on my end, but I want to make sure it's nicer for you. So thanks again for having me here. Hi, everybody. Very blessed and honored to be here. As Anita mentioned, I've known her now for 4 years. Can you believe it? It's crazy. So crazy. And you know, she came to me at a time when I was just starting actually the Ultimate Life. And if you're wondering what the Ultimate Life is, that little sign you see behind me, that's the company I was inspired to start back in January of 2016. So I think, Anita, your theme is inspiration, right, for the show?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I particularly use the word inspired, because I did not think I would be doing what I do now. And I get to be a mindset and peak performance coach to some of the most inspirational people on the planet. And that was my vision that I set out to do back in 2016. But it wasn't something that I felt like I created. When we say the word inspiration, I take it from Latin to be in spirit. And I was really in a place where I got to just receive that vision or that download, if it makes any sense. Oh, can y'all still hear me and see me?
Yeah.
The screen changed a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And now, gosh, flash forward 5 years later, I could not have imagined that I've been able to serve and work with some of the most driven, inspirational entrepreneurs, CEOs, business owners on the planet who are doing amazing things. And I get the opportunity to partner with them to strengthen their mindset, strengthen their leadership skills. And that's really my background is in psychology and mindset. And as you know, Anita, to me, success is 90% psychology, 10% tactics and strategy. Because y'all could Google everything out there that you need to do to make a business strong, to build your career. But at the end of the day, we always wonder, well, why don't I do what I know I need to be doing? What's holding me back? What is that thing? And that's where I come in, is to help you unblock some of those mental fears, to figure out, yeah, what is that thing that's stopping me, that's always been stopping me, so I can finally reach full potential. So super excited. And to be working with you, Anita, like when we were here 4 years ago, we just talked about this. You didn't have a show yet. You weren't doing what you're
Yeah.
doing now. And now look at you, full bloom, not to play on the roses behind you, but it makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing to see your personal transformation. And that's what excites me, is seeing women, men, humans like you just finally tapping into that part of you, that God-given gift that you were just meant to bring into this world. So thank you for allowing me to be your friend and partner in this journey so far.
Yes. Thank you. I wouldn't have it any other way. And, you know, Kamille, I have to really commend you for the work that you do. Because, you know, when Kamille had said that, you know, when you said how we met and you just started the Ultimate Life, I literally just found her. I saw her at a talk, and then I reached out to her, and she didn't even launch yet. I said, hey, I'm looking for a group to join in. Do you have anything? And she's like, coming soon. Yeah. And she gives me, I think you created just like a one pager. And I remember the lines that said, for less than for less than a cup of coffee a day, you can join in and you can reset your mindset, and, you know, you can be surrounded by amazing people. And that's what I love about our group, because not only does she share the mindset tools to help you get away from those blocks, she also adds, you know, the encouragement to stay creative, to stay connected to the relationships that matter to you.
Right.
And that was at the time, and relationship for me at that time, like I was going through my own stuff. And and she remembers this, I was still, it was at the end of the day at my job, and I was like, I think she offered like one of those emergency calls, and I called her and I was like, what do I do? And so the beauty of the mindset tools that she teach is, you know, when people come into our life, they are mirrors for a lesson we all need to learn, because it's a reflection of what we're seeing in that moment and who I was being and what state I was in. And the moment she taught us that, and then the lesson finally landed in me, I was like, oh, so you mean I'm not supposed to blame this person for the life and the situation that's happening with me right now? She gave it to me. She gave, like, Mama Kamille came out and and without forewarning, and it was totally, it landed the way it needed to be. And I was like, why isn't she, this is not the answer what I need to hear right now. And a good coach will lovingly give you the proper guidance, especially when you start to feel like it's a hit to your ego. That's when they're doing it the right way. Because I didn't need her to coddle me and put the blanket and be like, Anita, it's going to be all right. She was like, take a look at, you know, she reminded me of what she taught me with the awareness, like, take a look at, listen to the words you're saying about this person, Anita. And can you think to see in that state, is that you're talking about this person, but aren't you really talking about you? And then when she said that, I was like, oh, no, she didn't. It bruised my ego hugely. I did take a pause though, and we grounded a little bit more. And as she broke down the situation, and this is like less than 15 minutes, you guys. That's how amazing Kamille is. And then I calmed down and I realized, I finally got to a point of, oh, you're right. It has nothing to do with the other person and 1,000% to do with me. And the moment she brings you to that place, and she does every time, to embrace accountability for your own actions, that's the actual transformation. That's when it happens. And so I just wanted to thank you, and to be able to share my thoughts of you and my feelings for you and my heart live on my show because I was very timid. Like I never did live TV stuff. I never did video, and who knew this was naturally my gift. And I just wanted to just be in such gratitude. And I know, and in practicing, it's a practice, right? Because she shares so many tools, and the right ones will come along when you most need it in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And
Amen.
and I just wanted to just throw back the love. And if I had all these flowers live, I would just like bring it to you as a bouquet, like right over here.
I receive them.
And the impact in my life, and now with everybody watching. So in this time in your life now, what would you say is your greatest challenge, and what tools are you pulling from what you teach us to help you through it and overcome it and be on the other side of rising again?
Oh, that's such a good question. If I were to think about my biggest challenge, I would say right now it's accepting the full visibility that I know God has asked me to show up in. And when I say full visibility, there are parts in my heart, in my life that I can feel. So I feel very guided by the Holy Spirit. And sometimes I hear that little tug that says, all right, you need to say this now, and you need to do this. And there's still that little girl part of me that's like, oh, but I'm not good enough. Are you sure? Like, but if I say that, won't people be like X, Y, and Z? So I always tell folks I'm a recovering people pleaser, because that is my go-to wound. Is I survived when I was younger by making sure everybody is happy. And I think growing up Filipino American, that's probably cultural too. I was always told, don't act up, only speak when you're spoken to. So for me, love and connection was found through obedience to the humans around me. That's just how it worked. And you wanted to make sure everybody was happy. So my challenge for a long time was that I would try to make everybody else happy at the expense of answering what I say is God's call on my life, because I was afraid I'd offend someone, or that I might, make them feel excluded somehow, et cetera, et cetera. And so now my challenge is I'm not worried about what people think, because obviously I just do what I do now. So that doesn't faze me. But it's now to take it to a whole new level. It's like if God says, all right, I need you to stand on a stage of 1,000 people, or if I need you to get on a live stream and do this for 10,000 people and say the truth of where your wisdom comes from, are you willing to do that? Even if you get haters, even if there are some people who want to cancel you. And I think that's the challenge, especially in today's culture where cancel culture is very real. And people will get offended at everything. It's amazing to me. And I get it. There is a place for compassion and sensitivity and acknowledging people. And I find it odd that that same ideal cancels out other people that you don't agree with, right? And it's like we all have different ways in which we do things. And so that's why leading from love is really my tagline, but it's also my philosophy. Because I truly believe that if each one of us comes to that place of love, not fear, then we will do incredible things. But it's way easier said than done. It's super easy to lead from fear, very difficult to lead from love. Leading from fear is canceling people, being upset, judging, reacting, like you were saying, Anita, the ego, right? It's like, oh, well, they did that. It's their fault, not my fault. Leading from love says, well, then I take full accountability for my role in all of this. Leading from love says, I forgive you, even if I'm still mad at you. Leading from love says, I love myself and I forgive myself for the guilt and the shame and the things that I've done, the mistakes that I've made. So it's more work. And that's what you and I had done for so long and continue to do is, what does it look like to keep leading from love? Because it is a very difficult place to lead from, but I also believe it's the most necessary right now. So yeah, I guess that bigger visibility, it's always kind of scary because everyone says they want to be successful.
Yeah.
But the truth is there is a weight that comes with success. And the question becomes, can you carry the weight of that success? That's why you see a lot of people who they win the lottery, but then they go bankrupt within 2-3 years. So money didn't really change anything. Money only amplified who you already were. So the work, when people say they do the work, it's to build the muscles so that you can carry the weight when the time comes. And so that's why I really don't believe in like quick success or fast success, because it doesn't also train us in our character to be ready for that place. The glory is really nice. Who doesn't want that? But the question is, can you sustain it? Can you hold the responsibility of all these people looking to you, needing you, wanting you to show up for them? And that's where I feel like I'm at right now, is I'm still building the muscles and the character. Like God's still taking me through situations so I can build my strength to be ready for that one day. Which, to be honest, I would have never had that perspective before. Before I would have been like, I'm ready now. Let's go now, God. Let's talk to 1 million people now. I'm ready. And God's like, slow your roll, girl. Like, I will get you there. You still got to run a couple more laps, do a couple more, push-ups, but we'll get you there. We'll get you there. So I'm appreciating the journey a lot more because I get it now. I don't resent it when people used to tell me that.
I like that you said to lead from love versus fear. And I know that's one of the pillars that you always teach about, because you can't be in those two same feelings. It's one or the other. And I validate that, yes, leading from love is very, very difficult. And the desire to be successful also comes with that weight. Mm-hmm. And I have a similar journey with you in terms of give it to me now. Give it now. Right. Yeah, we forget we have to actually stretch to be able to be that container and allow Holy Spirit to be, Anita, you will receive it. Like it's already there, but let's just it's okay. Just do one more race. It's a marathon. It's not going to sprint. It's not a sprint anymore. And with you and I both having the love for marathon training and running as a metaphor too, it's been such a huge blessing in how it parallels to what's manifesting in our life. And I wanted to deep dive a little bit more around your mindset from where you started to where you are now. And before we do, I'd like to just shout out and thanks to the amazing people who are sponsoring our episode today. So just sit back and we'll be right back. What's up, family? I am Anita Vita, Master Medical Qigong teacher and healer. I believe that nurses deserve to be nurtured as much as they give. As a high-performing woman myself, I coach women how to overcome chronic gut pain so that they have total freedom in their life through the practice of medical Qigong. In 2011, while working as a nurse in the post-anesthesia unit, I experienced severe burnout, and it expressed itself as IBS, or irritable bowel syndrome. Discovering this practice allowed me to eradicate this gut disease completely and naturally through meditation alone. The slow, mindful movements of medical Qigong are potent and transformational, recalibrating your cellular structure by cultivating your body's natural energy and healing source called Qi. Today, I coach and empower women to achieve the same result through private and group programs, workshops, and retreat experiences to awaken you to your truth and be the highest version of yourself. If you're still in pain, you've tried everything, and you're sick and tired going from doctor to doctor with only prescriptions and strict diets as solutions, fear no more, my friend, because you have found me. Send me a message right now at anita@nacionvita.com and we'll get you to rise out of that pain, guaranteed.
𝙂𝙗 Management is a company dedicated to empowering individuals and businesses in entertainment, special events, talent management, content creation, digital and traditional marketing, and public relations, in working together to turn their dreams into reality. Get one step closer to elevating yourself and your business by contacting hello@𝙂𝙗management.com. Let us empower you.
Now let's get back to the show. And we're back. So sis, with your mindset training before compared to what it is now, how have you up-leveled it since? Especially when you're going through this newness of you and the expansion that's happening.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think when I started mindset training, I focus a lot more on the surface level of things, maybe what folks would see more on Instagram and Facebook in self-development. And those are all really good tools, like, sitting in stillness, deep breathing, some of the more basic things, journaling, taking time away, self-care, and that's really powerful. But where I think it's really transformed is now I'm focusing a lot more on identity and story and being, going even deeper into mindset. Like, while we give you the tools that you need in order to reflect better and have better goals and results, things like that, uh, my true passion is to get to the deepest root of where the fear lies within your story, within the subconscious, and help you transform that. So I guess the biggest shift has been, before it was a little bit more process oriented, and then now it's a lot more identity and being oriented. Because essentially, how you identify yourself, how you see yourself, then dictates how you will behave in the world. But when you think about it, nobody really sits down and thinks about, well, who am I? What am I? How do I continually view myself in the mirror? And if we're honest, most of us will look in the mirror and be like, oof, I don't like who I see, which then tells me that our self identity is negative. We don't know it. And in either case, then it dictates our behavior in very stressful situations. And the reason I say that is because you'll really know who you are when poop hits the fan, right? And that's when your real identity comes out. In fact, in relationship, when you're dating someone, they often say, don't assess them when things are good between you. Assess them when a real challenge finally hits between you. That's how you know, do I want to be with this person for the rest of my life? Because that's who they really are. Not who they are when it's date night, not who they are when things are all set up, but who they are when a tragedy happens in the family, who they are when they hit rock bottom, who they are X, Y, and Z. That's where our real self comes out. And so that's where the mindset work is really transformed. Like, I'm going to the root for all the leaders that I work with, which is, if you know who you are clearly and you love that person and you feel really secure in that, then whoever you influence and lead will get that version of you. Otherwise, anybody you speak to, the people you lead, the people you influence, they are going to get those quote unquote rough parts of you. And then it's kind of like adding more toxicity into the world. And by the way, that doesn't mean you need to have it all perfectly figured out. It doesn't mean that you need to be perfect by any means. Um, but it does mean that we're honest at the fact that we're trying to progress and heal whatever mindset patterns have not served us for so long. Um, so I know, super long answer. I'm sorry, girl, but I hope that makes sense. That identity is really now where it shifted to.
Yeah, it makes total sense. And when you said, and I like to use the example that you teach us, is what is pouring out of your cup, right? And what are you carrying in your cup? Because that's what is going to pour into it with other people, depending on where you're at and what your state is. And I like that you remind us that it's a pattern that keeps coming and that it takes time. So it takes practice. And what's helpful is, because I have you and I have the Ultimate Life fam, we have each other to keep us accountable.
Right.
Because it gets ugly. Like, it is when we have those moments when we meet once a week, there's always one person. And I have those moments too where I'm just like, what is happening? And we have to remind ourselves, we have to pick apart those pieces of, well, where were you self-identifying before? And is that still you now? And is that true? And is that what you believe? Because that you will be tested and you were challenged by that. So I'm glad that you shared that piece, because that took me a while to just scratch the surface of what that can mean. And now I get a chance to apply it in my life more often and getting better at it. And I do see you doing the same for us and leading by example. So I thank you. Yeah. And just to give everybody listening in now and those watching the replay, can you give a like one of the tools that you love to teach that they can take away from watching and hearing you today?
Let's see. One of the tools. There's a lot of tools.
Of your top three, that you love.
Okay. Let's see here. Mm, well, one of the most basic things that I talk about, and it's in all of my coaching, is what I call the triad of transformation. And you're super familiar with this, Anita. But the idea is if you want to change or transform anything in your life, there are three main components you have to look at. And the three parts to this is mindset, action, and then finally, the one that most people will not talk about is environment. And I honestly think environment's one of the most important. While I do coach on mindset, environment is the thing that will make or break your mindset a lot of the time. So when you think about it, who you are today is a culmination of everything and everyone you have ever experienced, interacted with, or the environments that you've been in. Physical and the people around you is what I mean by environment. So all of that has influenced who you are today. So imagine if you are looking to change something, then your environment, the physical environment around you, the people you choose to keep around you or that you watch on a daily basis are still impacting you today. So when people typically want to change something, they're like, oh, I just need to do it. So they focus on the action piece, which is great, right? We all want strategies and tactics. But as y'all know, you could Google how to lose weight, but then the issue is how come I can't get my ass to the gym? Like, so there's a mindset piece. So then people work on their mindset. It's like, okay, I can do this. I am strong. I am healthy. Great. So they change their mindset. They've got a strategy, which is to go to the gym, but then they fall off after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. What happened there? Well, their environment wasn't rigged for success. And what do I mean by that? You didn't have an accountability partner. So part of environment are the people as well who hold you accountable. So who was the trainer? Who was the person that you're going to the gym with? Who was the person you're running the race with? Because now it's like when you don't want to train, when you don't want to run, you know that, oh, but my cousin's going, or my sister, or my brother, or my best friend, they're running. So now I got to run. That's part of rigging your environment for success. You finally set up your workout clothes right next to your bed so that there's no excuse that I don't have time in the morning. Your clothes are right there. So that's you designing your environment for success. So, I just want to encourage someone who's listening right now that if you feel like I got the mindset piece down, I know the action steps to take, what's holding me back, start looking at your physical environment around you and really look at it. Is it designed for me to succeed? If I want to lose weight, do I keep the chips around me or have I only put the healthy foods in front of me? There's a study done that whatever is on people's kitchen counters, like whatever they can physically see, actually starts to relate back to their physical weight and BMI, which is fascinating. So typically people who have a higher BMI or feel like they're overweight, they actually have more junk food out on their kitchen counter versus people who typically have a healthier BMI or they're at a weight that they feel good at. They will have less junk food, no junk food, or only fruit visible on their counter. Why is that? Because their environment is rigged for success. What you see, you will probably go eat because it's convenient, right? So it's little things like that this is why I call it peak performance coaching, is because to get to peak performance, there are things you do that 90% of the planet won't do. And then that's kind of what separates you from the rest who always complain, like, I can't get what I want. Well, sometimes we just got to live by design instead of defaults. And that's what that piece is. Designing your life versus this is just how things are. But you have total control over certain things. And we just got to focus on those. So hopefully that helps.
That's super helpful. And I'm grateful to understand it with more depth. And that is definitely a challenge of mine, the environment section. And I think all three, because I know you got the 2.0 version of it out too. So I have so much to practice. And I think if I were to go back, I would have focused on environment first. Just because I know it's challenging me more so now. And, the purge process is like constant. That's like people, what you read, what you eat, like everywhere, your spaces, your mental, emotional space. Like there's so many that also encompasses environment. So I'm grateful you shared that particular tool and that somebody gets to take action on it, like tonight after they listen to you. I know you have so many things going on. How can we support you, and how can we get in touch with you, especially somebody who is looking for a peak performance coach or a leadership coach to help them with, you know, to get unstuck and to get all these blockages flow again?
Absolutely. So two things I would recommend. So number one is just going to the website, which is 𝙈𝙤𝙣𝙧𝙢𝙬𝙧, and that's LYFE. So kind of like you can see right here. And then sign up to get on the mailers list, because if you're on the mailing list, I call it the Ultimate Life Insider list. That's the email list that I personally email with all of the events that I do, all the programs that I'm launching. And I don't always share those on social media, but if you're part of my email list, you'll always find out about it. So I recommend signing up for there. I don't really email too often. Unless you're a member, and Anita knows I'll blow you up because we always have calls throughout the week. But other than that, you'll probably get an email from me like once a month, unless there's a big event coming up. And then the second thing is I recommend going to my YouTube page. So just go to YouTube and then type in Coach Kamille Rose. So it's Kamille with a K. And then just subscribe, because I do a ton of free videos on coaching. And so if you like what you're hearing today, I've got a ton of videos on different concepts and tools that I teach on, and you could literally coach yourself for free just on YouTube. So I would subscribe there and then start that way. And then if you'd like to contact me or my team and coach more, all the information will be on the webpage there. So you can schedule a clarity call, is what I like to call it.
Thank you so much for sharing all of your wisdom and your time with us. I'm just so proud to have you and so honored to have you on, and just so much gratitude in my heart. And I appreciate you so much, sis.
Likewise.
You're such a huge impact in my life. And now many others who gets to listen in when they discover you on your episode.
I appreciate it. And thank you for sharing the work. And thanks for having me on, girl. So proud of you. Excited for this. This is great.
Yay. Thank you. I appreciate you, Kamille.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for tuning in for another amazing episode. I am so grateful and thankful, for my own mentor being able to come on this show. And I hope you received so many insights and so many gems tonight. So thank you again for coming. And as always, I root for your rise. Good night, everybody. See you next week.
Anita Vita rise, yeah. Anita Vita rise, yeah. Anita Vita